If you're finding that your school day is not going as smoothly as it used to be, watch this video because it may have to do with your transition activities. In this video, I will be sharing some fun and engaging transition activities that will make your day go a lot smoother. Stay tuned. Transition times are those little moments in between activities that can either be smooth and fun or chaotic and stressful. Today, I'm not going to spend time on the whys of optimizing this time or the challenges that you may face. For that type of info, you can go ahead and check out one of the videos I have up above that could be helpful. This video is about freshening up that time of the day with new activities. So let's go. So I am going to break these activities up into 5 categories, and they are music-based, movement-based, verbal cues, game-based, and prop-based activities. So let's start with music-based activities. So the first activity is freeze dance. So basically for this one, you would do for a regular freeze dance session, you would play music while they are transitioning. For instance, let's say it's cleanup time, and when the music stops, then they freeze. It's just about adding a little bit of fun to that time because, by now, the cleanup time is not their favorite time of the day. So you want to make it a little more exciting. So that can be used during that time of the day. Or if you find another part of the day that you can use the freeze dance in other than just your music and movement time. Another activity is to use songs. So these can be songs that they already know. They can be songs that you replace the lyrics from familiar songs that are related to whatever it is they're doing at the moment or what they're about to do. And of course, you can include silly songs as well. The next activity is using musical instruments. And this could also go into the next category, but for this category, using musical instruments, you can use something like a drum, and they can pretend that they are in a parade and they can march over to get online, for instance, or march to the large rug for circle time or for small group time at tables or something like that. Using something like the triangle, you can have them move light on their feet so they're not running, and usually when you're associating those types of descriptors, that means that they'll probably go a lot slower and be more careful. And in this way, the children can move to that instrument the way it feels to them. So with that, let's just go into the next category. So the next category is movement-based. So picking up from where we left off with using instruments, this time, instead of them just using their bodies to move according to how it sounds to them, now you can use it in terms of pace or tempo. And when you play an instrument, whatever instrument you choose, whether you're going really fast or really slow, they can move accordingly. Another fun thing to do that has always been something that I relied on was doing animal movements. So that can be as simple as, hopping like a frog or crawling like a turtle, something like that. And what's great about using animal movements is depending on what you want them to do or where you want them to go, you can base that animal on that activity, or how loud they can be, or how quiet, or how slow, or how fast they can be, depending on whatever it is you have planned. Another thing that you may consider are animated characters. So whatever character is in for them, or their favorite character that they watch on television or on YouTube, then you can include them as well, walking or crawling or whatever, so-and-so, or a character from Paw Patrol or a character from this show or that show. It's whatever they're interested in, and that way, because you're using something that's their favorite, they're more inclined to do it. So another activity is playing follow the leader. So after you have done the following the leader for a while, maybe you can start picking children in your class that can be the leader, and then you can have them decide what type of movement they're going to do to get the children to go from one activity to the next activity, or one area to the next area. And of course, another activity would be dancing. So dancing can be anything, and it doesn't have to be a full-on production. It could just be like just a stand in place, a two-step. It could be anything just to get them, from one area to another area in a fun kind of way. Pretend to be a ballerina. How would a ballerina get from our carpet to the tables for art? And then they can pretend to be a ballerina and dance their way to the area. The next category, verbal cues. So one activity in this category could be a question of the day. So as they are transitioning from, let's say they're going outside to the playground, maybe you can ask them a question like, what is your favorite color? And this can be determined on what your theme is, or what your topic that you're working on that week. You can make the question about something that they learned that day. The question could be related to that, or it could be something silly, and you can come up with almost anything, as long as you are able to, get them from one area to another. The sillier, the better, if you want to make it fun, or if you're just trying to make sure that it's smooth. You're giving children time to walk, giving them time to settle, something like that. As they're walking out the door, you ask them the question. You can even do this or that. So this or that is basically, they choose kind of like which would they rather have, this or that. So you can say, okay, the this or that is, ice cream or flavors. You could chocolate ice cream or strawberry ice cream, and then they can tell you what it is that they prefer. Or it could be something like, kind of like, would you rather? So this or that, or would you rather? Would you rather fly in a plane, or would you rather sail in a boat? Something like that. Another activity in this category that you can use are maybe rhyming words. So you come up with the word, and then they have to come up with something that rhymes with that word. Maybe something like starting a sentence or starting a lyric of a song that they're familiar with, and then they have to finish the lyric. For instance, Old MacDonald had a farm, and then they would finish the lyric. The next category is game-based transitions. So the first activity in this category that I wanted to talk about is the mystery item. So what you would do is you would tell the children that you are thinking of something. So let's use the transition time of cleaning up. So tell them that you are thinking about an item that is on the floor or on the table, and whoever gets that item and puts it away, maybe they won the game, or they get 3 cheers, or maybe they get to have a special job that day or the next day, whatever it is that you want to do. If you want to make sure that everything gets cleaned up, then make that item the last item to get picked up. But you can't do that too often, because then they'll catch on. So maybe like once a month, like when you are doing that activity, that it's the last item that gets picked up that is, the item that you're thinking of. Something else you can do is with colors and numbers. So for colors, maybe if you're wearing this color, if you're wearing polka dots, or if you're wearing stripes, then go to X, Y, and Z. And for numbers, maybe they can guess a number, something similar to like the mystery item. Maybe it could be a mystery number. And if the child gets the number, even if they don't get the number, they still can go to the art table for art. But if they do get the number, then you can give them a little, cheer or whatever. The next category is prop-based. So props could be anything. You could use a magic wand, and the magic wand can literally be a popsicle stick with a foam star on top. It could be a pointer that you get from the Dollar Tree. The magic wand can be anything and can be used in any kind of way. And this could be something fun that you do either individually, or you can do it as a whole class. You are all now frogs. Whatever it is that you want to, make them, you're just using a magic wand just to spice up the time and that transition. Another thing you can use is maybe a puppet. Have that puppet talk to them and give them the next direction, or praise them for doing something or walking so nicely. Using a puppet is a great idea, especially if it's something that you don't use often. It can definitely be a novelty and change things up and make them more engaged in wanting to do what it is you need them to do. And maybe you can use dice, like those big foam dice. Some have numbers, some have the dots on top. Maybe something, for instance, you roll the dice and it comes up the number 5. Maybe you can have them jump 5 times to the table. Roll the dice again, it's the number 3, jump 3 times to the table, so that they're all taking a step towards the table. It changes things up. Instead of you're having them go to the table or walk to the table, they can do a different movement with this prop. So with all these different and new activities that you would use in your classroom during your transitions, one thing to remember is to introduce the activity and also practice it. Don't just spring it on them and be like, hey, we're gonna do this. Get them familiar with what it is they are trying to do. And this way, you can ensure that it goes, seamlessly. And there you have it. Transition times do not have to be stressful. They can actually be fun, engaging, and smooth. Tell me in the comments which transition activity you are going to try, or if you have a fail-safe transition activity that you use in your classroom, drop it in the comments so that you can share with other teachers. And if you found this video helpful, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.